Okay, this is a scorecard of a real class of students in the UK, and we can see from the scorecard here, green means they've gone through with no problems, orange means they went through and they got the right answer, but they maybe got a step wrong, or they took a next step at some point, and a red cross on the teacher dashboard here means that they either took next steps all the way through the question, so they didn't know how to do it, or they took next steps and they got lots of wrong steps. They got the right answer in the end, but we think they need more help because of the working out. You can also see on here the progress that they've made, the grade, and also the time spent. The time spent for this task, 38 minutes, that's not the time that the task was on the screen. That's any time that the student is away from the screen and isn't entering data, the timer stops. Okay, so if we actually look at this student here, 2.3 hours, if I click into that student's work, you'll see that this whole assignment took a number of days, and they kept on coming back to it and coming back to it and coming back to it and doing a bit more work. So they've had a bit of a struggle. Okay, so that doesn't mean that they've had their computer open for 2.3 hours while they're doing Facebook or something like that, or Instagram more like it, or Snapchat. This is actual work. It only counts time when they're entering things into the math space. So if we look at this work, we can see here question 7, there's a real change. Okay, you can see the questions must be getting harder, but question 7, there's a real change. So let's just click on these and open them in a new tab, because it looks like they've all had a problem with this question. And we'll also do this one for 2.3 hours. Okay. So now I'm just going to go onto those tabs. You can't see the rest of the tabs just for data protection reasons. So if I look here, we can see this is question 7 because it's the one with circle on, and we can see the question, and we can see here they've got the question wrong, -2. So when they were doing -2 for that table, they got the question wrong. They got the question wrong again. They took a hint. They took a next step, and you can see here it's also got a timestamp. So you can see exactly the date. Well, you can't actually see the date on there. That was the 14th of the month, 1713, 1714, 1714, 1714. So they went through that one quite quickly once they did this, but they kept on getting that wrong there for the -2. Okay, so let's go on to another student. And again, different digits, okay, but it's still a -2 that caused a problem. We can see they've all the way through there. They've tried a lot, and then eventually they've got it right. Yeah, so they've got a tick. So when they finished that question, they got a tick, but we've coloured it red because they've had a problem. If they just done lots of working out and got it right at the end, you only knew the final answer, you would not know that they'd struggled like this. Okay. Let's look at another student. Here we go, they got green most of the way through, but again, number 7, same question, and it's the -2. So they're all having problems with -2 squared. They took next steps at the final step here, 1609, 1609, 1609. Alright, next one, -2. So -2 squared. Next person. And they actually just took next steps all the way through, so they didn't even try it. Yeah, they just, and in fact they were doing this at midnight. There you go. So maybe they were late for the homework. Alright, if you can actually see from the time there, 008. Okay, maybe they need to get some sleep. And the student, again, -2. So it looks like the teacher needs to intervene and discuss about squaring -2. I wonder if we can find that one. I think this is the one when the student did lots of time. That was on the, so let's see when they started the dates. That was, so here's their step. That was on the 8th of the month at 1:58. Look at their last question that they started, they looked at, but they didn't actually do anything. Oh, there we go. That was on the 13th. So that's over 5 days. So they came back to it over 5 days progress. Look at the 5th here. That was on the 8th. So they did most of the work on the 8th. This one was on the 9th. This question they did on the 11th. And so on. Okay. So that's how you can keep track of students' work. Alright. And see, because you can see they're working out, where they need help. All from the dashboard. Not just green, orange, red.